Now, Saweetie. We gotta talk about Saweetie, man. I think most people are at least familiar with Saweetie. She's a really big name in the mainstream at the moment. Some people might recognize Saweetie through her music, because after all, she is a rapper. Others might recognize her from that relationship she was in with Quavo. Regardless of that, she's a pretty poppin' rapper, and I wanted to give my take on her. With that being said, let's talk about her. Now, Saweetie's definitely getting a lot of coverage at the moment. If you guys are not familiar with Saweetie, she's a 28-year-old rapper, entrepreneur, social media star out of Cali who's been doing her thing in the music industry for a little bit of time. The first time I heard about Saweetie was back in early 2018 through a song called Icy Girl. I remember listening to that and asking myself, who is that? Because that was a great song. I was very impressed with that record. At the time, that was the only official music video on her channel. Fast forward a little bit of time later, she followed Icy Girl up with another song and video titled Focus, another record that was right in line with the kind of image she was trying to portray, that image being a young, intelligent, classy woman with brains who simply knew how to rap. That's the vibe I always got from Saweetie when I initially found out about her back then. Now that was the early days of Saweetie, the underground Saweetie, the Saweetie who still hadn't broken into the industry. Nowadays though, Saweetie is a mainstream figure in this space. She's a very successful name in the music industry, has a lot of accomplishments under her belt, a couple really big records as well. Saweetie's popping as hell right now, which is why I wanted to talk about her real quick. The way I look at Saweetie is she's not like your average successful rapper, especially average successful female rapper, meaning the brand of Saweetie isn't only defined by her actual music. A lot of people are not only finding out about her, but have found her through other avenues that aren't related to her music. One example of this would be her relationship with Quavo. If you guys didn't know, Saweetie and Quavo were dating for around 3 years, and even though Saweetie wasn't an unknown name at the time when they started dating, a lot of people's initial introduction to her was through that relationship she had with Quavo. Another example is through her Instagram. She's extremely popping on IG. If I didn't know who Saweetie was and I saw her IG, honestly, I wouldn't really know that she's an artist. Saweetie almost comes across as a social media star slash influencer who just happens to make music rather than an actual artist. That's something my brother Honest, who made a video on her, pointed out as well. I'll link his video in the description below. Saweetie's brand is an interesting one though, because her brand, like I said earlier, is not solely defined by her music, and she might be the only female rapper who's taken it to this extent. Since she has her hands in a lot of different pockets, rapping seems like just another hustle for her. It doesn't seem like it's a priority of hers. It more so seems like rapping is just another option for Saweetie. Now, the question that's been going around social media for these past couple of weeks is this: is Saweetie even an artist? And why are people asking that question? Well, this is why. Around 2 weeks ago, Saweetie started trending on social media after a video of her performing went viral. In the video, Saweetie is seen performing one of her songs. Meanwhile, she's kinda running out of breath. She at one point even forgets her own lyrics. On top of that, her stage presence is completely out of whack. Now, Saweetie was getting roasted like a goddamn turkey on Thanksgiving for this performance. Like you heard, she forgot her own lyrics at one point. She was running out of breath. She couldn't really keep up with the choreography. Her stage presence was non-existent as well. So people were essentially going off on her, saying things like, you're an artist, you're supposed to do better. There's about 1 million other female rappers out there who've not only been, but are doing way better than Saweetie, but they're barely getting a fraction of the same credit she gets for doing a piss poor job. So social media had a field day with this performance. There's a lot of truth in what people were saying though. A lot of the things Saweetie was messing up are things an artist at her level should already know how to do. I think this goes hand in hand with what I said earlier. Rapping seems more like just another hustle for Saweetie. Saweetie doesn't really come across as an actual artist to me. The feeling that I'm getting from Saweetie at this point in her career, she's making music out of convenience and not out of passion. Clearly there's a demand for the music she makes though, so why exactly should she stop? Now, comparing Saweetie's older songs to the music she's dropping today, it's completely night and day. Although I wouldn't consider Saweetie a good rapper, she was a better rapper back then, but as time went on, her sound clearly got dumbed down with time. I mean, compare something like Icy Girl or the song Focus, or even this record called Anti, to a record like Tap In, which I actually fuck with. I think Tap In is a catchy record, but compare those records to the music she's dropping now, like I said, it's night and day. And the difference isn't only how the music sounds, but it's her entire image. The way Saweetie's music sounds now also reflects what we're seeing appearance-wise. I mean, Saweetie Saweetie came into the game looking like this cute, intelligent, classy college girl to now looking like your average IG model. I don't know about you, but the way I see it, she ditched the classic college girl look in order to fit in with the rest of the industry. Is that surprising? Absolutely not. I think we all know that sex simply sells. Niggas are horny, okay? Obviously, this is where the label pressure comes into play, because you gotta keep in mind, major labels never sign an artist unless they have a plan for them in mind. So in the Saweetie case, they presumably already knew what they would mold her into before she signed the contract. Saweetie is a good artist to analyze this in, since she started off looking one way and then years later looks completely different. Coming back full circle to what we spoke about before regarding Saweetie not being an actual artist, regarding that, someone like Doja Cat would be a good comparison to make here, because when I think about Doja Cat, I think about the artist Doja Cat. However, when I think about Saweetie, I think about the brand Saweetie. Since Saweetie has her hands in a lot of different pockets, she's obviously not as focused on improving what's supposed to be her main craft as her female contemporaries are. So in that sense, she's definitely at a disadvantage because her attention is so divided, as in she's doing so many different things. That's why I highly doubt Saweetie's ever going to be an exceptional artist. For that to happen, she has to put 110% into being an artist. So developing her stage presence, developing her actual style as an artist, etc., keeping up with her peers creativity wise, that's going to be close to impossible for her. And that's why I don't think Saweetie should be included in the female rap conversation. Saweetie has honestly just not put up the records or the quality for her to be included. I think she still has a lot to prove on a rapper aspect, so a lot of the criticism she's receiving as far as that, I think it's justified. Personally, I just don't think people like seeing mediocrity being celebrated like it's greater than what it is. And even though Saweetie isn't a good rapper, one thing she's extremely good at is business. She's a go-getter when it comes to business opportunities. I mean, she didn't get that McDonald's partnership for no reason, did she? I'm gonna be honest, I was very surprised to see that. Travis Scott getting one wasn't too far-fetched considering how big of a name Travis really is, but Saweetie on the other hand, getting an opportunity like that just a couple years into her being in the industry, that's pretty crazy. I guess this right here is proof that she's a really good businesswoman. I mean, it's not every day an artist gets a partnership opportunity with McDonald's, let's just put it that way. Also, let's not only credit Saweetie, because for something like this to happen, you gotta have a very good team, okay? You gotta have people around you who know what the hell they're doing, which it seems like Saweetie does. To wrap up this conversation, what is the stance on Saweetie? Personally, I'm not a fan of Saweetie's music. With that being said, I do think she has a couple good songs, her best one being Icy Girl. I'll fuck with that record. Aside from that, I don't really think Saweetie has longevity musically speaking. However, I still believe she's going to be a very prominent figure in the industry regardless of that, and I say that for two reasons. Number one, she knows how to use social media, and attention is the name of the game. So she has the attention aspect on lock, and from what I've seen, she's using social media strategically. As an example, the other day she posted a couple photos on IG of her new hairstyle. She apparently shaved her head. Michael Jordan. If you know the meme, you know the meme, but everybody was jumping on that and talking about it. And also, she's been making a lot of headlines for some of those weird food combinations she's been posting on social media. I saw this one video where she put instant ramen seasoning on oysters. I can't even lie, that looked beyond The second reason why I think, despite not being a very good rapper, Saweetie's gonna be around, she has an entrepreneurial spirit. So even if she falls off music-wise, she's most likely gonna be picking up a lot of other bags that aren't related to the music industry per se. All in all, I see Saweetie more as a lucrative brand than an actual artist. I'm not really sure how much creative juice she has from an artist perspective. I really doubt we're ever gonna see her keeping up with her female contemporaries. Despite me not being a fan though, I gotta say man, I don't think Saweetie is going anywhere anytime soon. And yeah, there you have it. But yeah, the stance on Saweetie. Any thoughts on this conversation? What do you guys think about Saweetie the rapper? Do you guys think she got bars? Do you like her music or nah? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.